Conor McGregor vs Khabib Nurmagomedov is the biggest sporting event ever, with pay-per-view buys being reported upwards of 2.4 million and a live gate of $17.2 million. Just take those numbers in for a second. This was a huge event which had been trending all over the internet and just goes to show how big this fight was. And I'm not surprised. This fight had everything: genuine bad blood, drama, high stakes, and man, this fight did not disappoint. Both fighters performed well. Obviously Khabib was victorious, but Conor had some impressive moments in the fight as well. But I want to take a moment to analyze that first round of this fight, because I've been watching this over and over again, especially now with talks of a rematch if Khabib was to win against Tony, which is a very difficult matchup for Khabib, and I think Tony is being disrespected here by everyone. But in my opinion, the first round of Conor and Khabib basically revealed who was going to be executing their game plan more successfully. I mean, even before the round began, I had goosebumps listening to the best, Bruce Buffer, making the announcements. There was so much going on here which I just found very interesting, and I don't think a lot has been made of this. You can see how loose Conor is here when Bruce is announcing him. Plus, man, you cannot deny just how much entertainment this man brings to the sport. Even if you hate him, you have to love just how much he's willing to entertain the fans, despite carrying the risk of looking like a complete fool if he lost. But on the other hand, you see Khabib's body language looks noticeably more nervous and looks like he just wants to get on with it. But by no means am I using the word nervous in a negative way. Khabib looks like he's on a mission here, like he's got a strategy, a game plan where he's organized the events in his head and now just wants to execute this game plan. And when the fight begins, you can see right from the start the amount of pressure Conor is putting on Khabib, which is crazy. Conor just looks so relaxed here, and he's setting up his traps already, and you can see Khabib is itching to find the right time to make an entry. There's a sense of desperation which is understandable because there's a lot of pressure, the stakes are high, the build up to the moment has been intense, and the atmosphere is just insane. Khabib just wants to release all of this pressure and grab Conor. You can see the difference in the body language of the two fighters here. Khabib looks more tense, Conor is more relaxed. Conor is pushing Khabib back, and you can see Khabib has studied that left hand and knows it's dangerous as he's circling to Conor's right to avoid that punch. But you can see even slight feints from Conor cause a big reaction from Khabib. And Khabib could have made a mistake here and got caught, but this is where those years of knowledge of grappling and that focus allowed him to spot an opportunity even for just a second and capitalize on it. And I mean, look at that entry. First of all, who even does that? Who leaps across to grab the ankle of the back leg? That is just such a crazy entry, which you can almost never prepare for. However, if you rewind this and pay close attention, you can see Conor almost timing a knee, which is crazy as this was close. But Khabib's positioning and timing was impeccable here. And now this is where the fun begins, and you can see that Conor is no slouch when it comes to grappling, as he's holding his own against one of the best, or if not the best grappler in MMA. Now, I'm not going to pretend I know all of the techniques being used here for the position play, and if you guys see something more, please feel free to drop it in the comment section below, as I would love to learn. But I saw one thing that Conor was doing really well, and that was posting on Khabib's head and using his body weight to make it difficult for Khabib to turn him over and get on top of him. And the balance being shown here by Conor was very impressive. He actually ended up getting on top of Khabib for a second, and the crowd went crazy because this was something no one expected, where Conor actually had the upper hand in a grappling exchange. But of course, this got overturned quickly, and you can see Khabib just never let go of that leg and eventually got his arm around Conor's other leg and just drove him towards the fence, where he started doing what he knows best. Khabib wrapped his legs around to trap Conor and basically just held him in that one spot. Now, a lot of people said that the fighters could have been stood up here because Khabib wasn't really doing any damage, but I think the right decision was made to let it go on because Khabib was establishing control and dominance through grappling. And because this is MMA, it is down to Conor to find a way to get back up to his feet. At least that's my opinion. I've got to say though, Khabib just makes grappling look so easy and elegant. When Khabib fights, he genuinely looks like he's a couple of weight classes above his opponent. But it's a combination of phenomenal technique and strength which just makes it ridiculously hard to get away from Khabib. I mean, there's so much technique here that Khabib is using. It's not just overpowering strength. Now you could see the frustration building up in Conor, as I think he was expecting Herb Dean to stand them up, and Conor was being a bit cheeky by grabbing Khabib's shorts for a couple of seconds, which I think was because of that frustration. I mean, Khabib wasn't doing much, but at the same time he was showing Conor that he was stronger and could hold him down in one place using the cage. And while Conor is carrying all that body weight and getting squeezed essentially by Khabib, Khabib is actually recovering his stamina because he's been training in that position for so long that's almost a form of active recovery to a certain extent. And that was the end of a very intense round in my opinion. The emotions were high as the beginning of the fight was a roller coaster and you could see the fans of both the fighters getting excited and then getting quiet. But the end of that round established who was going to be executing their game plan more successfully. I thought getting that takedown early for Khabib was important to get him relaxed and to deal with that enormous amount of pressure Conor was putting on him. And I feel that takedown made Conor more cautious because now he knew for sure that if he got taken down by Khabib, he could not get back up. But at the same time, Khabib expelled a lot more energy than I think he would have wanted because Conor's defense was actually very good and I think it was actually better than Poirier's. But yeah, at least that was my thoughts on the first round that happened more than a year ago. But I just thought that was such a great round and the build up to that fight was just so entertaining. I know these two fighters aren't exactly the best of friends, but seriously, thank you for that amazing fight. Honestly, I'm down for a rematch between these two fighters as I know it'll be the biggest MMA sporting event ever. But for that to happen, Khabib has to get through Tony, and I feel Conor should take on Gaethje at 170 to really gain the mandate of the fans. But if you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to my channel as it helps me grow and I truly appreciate your support. And if you had any thoughts to share on this fight, please leave them below. Thanks for watching.